Alright guys, welcome back to Touring Taste Buds. I'm Steph.
I'm Chad.
And we came up with things for anybody wanting to potentially live in an RV that we think people don't talk about often enough, or that they don't tell you before you start full-time RV living.
Point number one has to be the maintenance. So for example, for us, you gotta make sure that you have all these leveling blocks, those yellow things down here. I don't know if you guys can see them. Gotta make sure that you have a lock on your trailer so nobody can steal it. You gotta make sure that the propane is always turned off. You gotta make sure your gauge is always good. You gotta make sure the toilet works. You gotta make sure your sewage tank is all running.
There's just kind of ongoing maintenance. So every time you hook up or unhook, it's always like stuff to take care of. So you always have to put the water on, the water filter. You always have to put a new little tablet in the toilet to make sure that it doesn't smell bad. You always have to make sure that all the levelers are down and that you have to make sure you are leveled out. So put the leveling blocks under to make sure you're perfectly level. So I think it's more like ongoing maintenance that they don't tell you about, which isn't a bad thing by any means, but I think it's just stuff that people don't tell you about or that you don't see on Instagram.
So without a doubt, point number one has to be the maintenance that comes with taking care of an Airstream.
True.
Point number two.
Okay, so point number two is definitely my point. Guys are a little bit lower maintenance. I'm not even high maintenance, but just in general, by nature, they require less attention. I think number two for me is that you kind of sometimes revert into camping mode. So because you're at a campsite, or because you're out in the woods, or because you're kind of living on a campground, sometimes you revert into what I call camping mode, which you're actually just living your life. You're not actually camping. You're doing your normal like routines, but since you're in a campground setting, sometimes I feel like I kind of revert to this camping mode. I don't do my hair as much, or you know, you don't like do a bunch of face masks like I did when we lived in an apartment complex.
Don't shave as much. Don't get a haircut as much.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing by any means. I do love face masks and I like to get my nails done. Basically, what I'm trying to say is sometimes when you live in an RV, you feel like you're camping 24/7. I mean, sometimes we are camping with the purpose of camping, but sometimes we're just working like a normal job and going to get groceries and doing the normal life.
And I don't even think that it's more difficult to get ready in an Airstream or do those kinds of things. I just feel like it's almost just a mindset. You're like, all right, I'm out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, camping, glamping, whatever you want to call it.
And I think that's entirely true because I've curled my hair plenty of times in here, and I've done face masks in here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've painted my nails in here. I've done it all in here, so it's not a matter of not being able to. It's just I think the setting that you're living in sometimes equates to living a camping lifestyle.
Yeah.
So just like don't let yourself live in that camping mode if you don't want to. That was point number two. Sometimes you just kind of revert into camping mode even though you're living in it, not camping in it.
Let's go back outside for point number three. So without a doubt, point number three has to be
the fact that people don't tell you how much these guys can actually feel like home. So we originally planned on just traveling in ours for a few months and then moving to Nashville and getting a house. That was our plan from day one. That was what we communicated to you guys all along. Come to find out, we actually felt so attached to our Airstream. It felt more like home than anything we had ever lived in, that we've extended our living in it while living in Nashville, like in one location. Something they definitely don't tell you is how much you can grow attached to these things and how much these can actually feel like your home and how much your plans can change when you live in them, because I mean it's honestly an awesome lifestyle, and if you're even just planning on traveling for a little bit, it could turn into something you want to live in full time. So I think that's something people definitely don't tell you whenever you start off.
To be honest with you guys, at the very beginning of this whole thing, we hated it. We hated full-time RV living. We did not enjoy it at all. It was miserable. Now it has become something that we're gonna do forever, probably.
Yeah.
Or at least own this guy, or own one. We love it. We love the freedom that it gives you. We love the memories that you can make, the experiences that you get to have. So we definitely have to get an Airstream or an RV and try this lifestyle out, because we definitely recommend it.
But like we said, guys, three things that people don't tell you before you move into an RV is one, maintenance. Maintenance is a huge key, guys. Don't forget that. It is not just pull up to the spot, drop down, and get to enjoy gorgeous sunsets and sights. It is a lot of work.
and then the gorgeous sights you can enjoy.
And then 2 is kind of living in that camping mode. So some people don't tell you about the fact that because you are parked at campgrounds most of the time, or parked in the outdoors, sometimes you can revert into camping mode. Don't let anybody fool you. Those things are all possible as long as you just don't let yourself revert to camping mode, as we like to call it.
And then number 3 is, they don't tell you how much this can feel like a real home.
Yeah,
it might be tiny, but it carries a huge impact and carries a huge place in our hearts.
For sure. So like we said, guys, we are going to be living in this still for at least a little bit while longer. We don't want to give it up, period, and see where this little life takes us in 2019.
So a little snippet added on to this whole entire 3 things they don't tell you in full-time RV living is this guy. So this is a 2018 TRD off-road 4Runner. It's built for all sorts of things off-road. It has a ton of capabilities inside, we'll show you in a minute. But this is what we tow with. So what we use is a weight distribution kit, and then we attach Rocky. That's what we call our Airstream. So this thing has towed our 77 Airstream all across the West Coast, and it's almost totaled over 20,000 miles so far, and we cannot say anything negative about it. It's done a perfect job, been a perfect tow vehicle. It's a beast. So for those of you that are curious what we tow with, if you have any questions, DM us below and I will answer them. But I just wanted to share with you guys what we tow our Airstream with.
But like we said, we're going to be doing a Q&A in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, just designate or identify it as a Q&A question below. So just say Q&A question and then type whatever it is. That way we don't accidentally answer right away.
Yeah,
so that way we can put it for everyone to see.
We will see you guys Sunday for our Sunday morning coffee. Don't forget to tune in. It'll be our first live stream on our actual schedule of posting vlogs.
Yeah, that's true.
So 10 a.m. Central, tune in with a cup of coffee with us and chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you guys so much for the support. If you guys have any questions, drop them below. See you guys later.